Hi Cancer, welcome to your October reading. Now we're going to be using two decks today. We're going to use the Cosmic Cycles Tarot and the Tarot of the Divine, my two newest decks, my two most favourite decks right now. Very emotive, very cute imagery. And Tarot of the Divine I really like because it's based around like folklore and fairy tales and bits and pieces. Deities. It's very cute. So yeah, we're going to have a look at what's coming up for you, Cancer, for October. So just for the month, see what's going on, because we've got a great full moon. The second full moon of the month on Halloween is in Taurus. I was reading, it's a really good time to use that grounded, stable energy of Taurus to just get really focused on what it is that we want. In my head, it's a little bit of a reset. It's like, right, do I want this in my financial life? Do I want that in my love life? Do I want this in my family life? No. Okay, cool. Let's set the intentions at the end of the month for full moon on Halloween of what it is that we want. So, and then once we've had a look at what's going on for you, we will also check in with the star signs around you, just to see how other people are feeling towards you, which could be in a relationship, could be friendship, family, workplace. So let's have a look what is coming up for Cancer for October. Okay. So first out, you got the Page of Cups. You are my last reading of today, and I'm really glad this is shaping up well so far. I hope I haven't jinxed it. So first off, you got the Page of Cups. Now this is a wonderful card for you because this is very much like that moment of excitement. Like, I love the fact that she's sitting, she's doing pottery, she's creating something. All of her energy, all of her feeling, everything is going into this cup that she's creating. Everything is you're getting very focused on what it is that you want out of life, and you're working towards making it happen. That is a really, really good starter. We then got a Three of Wands. Now this for me is in this deck in the upright is very much like this kid he's got in his boat, he's made his journey, he's landed on the island, and all of these opportunities are ahead of him. There's a whole island to discover. There's a whole world you've yet to see. I love that. I really like that for you, Cancer. As I say, we are going to clarify these cards, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But then we got a Nine of Swords in reverse. Absolutely fantastic. Because the Nine of Swords in the upright, oh, we've all been there. We've all been sat slumped over the bed hugging a pillow. Not anymore, Cancer. October is going to be a bit of a breezy month for you. I think you're going to have a really easy, free time, like very little stress, very little anxiety. I really hope this resonates for a lot of you guys out there, because that is a lovely, lovely situation. And then finally, we've got a Justice card. So I definitely think something's going to come to fruition. I don't want to take the easy way out and go, could be legal stuff, but this Justice card is very much about the legality. It's very much about the system. Maybe you've been waiting for contracts to be signed that are going to come to be signed in October, which gives you this freedom with that Nine of Swords. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers from the Tarot of the Divine. I'm just really pleased with that Page of Cups. It's one of, because it's just such a cute card. I just really like it. Okay, clarifiers please. Let's see what's clarifying for Cancer for the month of October. Okay. Interesting. So we've got clarifying the Page of Cups. You got the Page of Swords. Now the Page of Swords for me is someone who is very, very adaptable. Like, it's not, I know traditionally it's a spy card. It's it is what it is, but there's also a situation of when people talk about a spy card, what do spies do? They adapt. They adapt their surroundings to what's going on. They adapt to who they're around, and that for me is exciting, particularly matched with a Page of Cups, because it's kind of you being enthusiastic, being open to change, being able to see something. If something doesn't go your way particularly, cool. You can change direction, change tactic. You've got that coming in for October, which is lovely. Now, where you've got the Three of Wands of setting out on your journey, you've hit some targets on your journey. You've climbed a little bit up the ladder. Yes, there's still a way to go, but you're getting there. The thing that I think is concerning is that you've got to focus on the detail a little bit, because this is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and this, I love him, it's Anansi, the spider god. I think it's African. sure it is. I mean, it looks it from the clothing he's wearing. But I think with that being in reverse, like you know, with this new venture, this new something exciting, I think you've got to pay a little bit of attention to the details, because otherwise you can get strung up, flipped over, and you know, it's a little bit, that is a little bit angsty. The free reign is lovely. Having all the options out there is great, but just be careful that you don't become stuck by taking too long, generally. Now with your Nine of Swords in reverse, which again is like I say, is freedom from anxiety, for want of a better expression, you've got 10 of Coins in reverse to match that one up. And that for me is a case of, is it that you've actually let go of something that you were hoping for? And that's what gives you that mental breathing space with that 9 in reverse. Because actually sometimes I think when we're very focused on, you know, and this is Coins, it's materials, so it's sometimes that we're so heavily focused on the payoff, on the end goal of a project, and that could be something work related, that if it doesn't happen, it can be quite stressful. What I'm enjoying though is that actually, you know, something that in theory could be quite stressful isn't stressing you out, Cancer. I love that. I wish I was a Cancer right now, because that's wonderful. Now echoing your Justice, you've got King of Cups in reverse. So my concern is that this contract this situation that you're waiting on being resolved, whether it's contract, whether it's, you know, hearing back from someone, whether it's, you know, whatever it is, whatever the deal is that you're waiting, whatever it is, the judgment, the justice, the decision that you're waiting for, I think be careful, it could knock you off a little bit. And again, it echoes this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, because I think with that King of Cups in reverse, it's very much that it's a bit that you know, the King of Cups upright is lovely because he's very comfortable with everything he has to offer, everything he's done, everything he's been through. He's made peace with it all. I feel like there's still some things that you possibly haven't made peace with, Cancer, and that is why I feel that I think the deal will come off really in your favour, but I think you may also lose, like, and it's bringing back to the whole divorce proceedings and things where, you know, or like a house falls through or something like that, that the decision gets made, but it doesn't make you happy, whatever the decision is. Okay, took a little bit of a darker turn than I was hoping for, but I hope that helps. If it resonates, obviously do me a favour and let me know in the comments down below, because I like to know how things are going for people. And if you would like a private reading, if it hasn't resonated for you, you can drop me an email at must.b.a.gemini.tarot@gmail.com. And you can also find me on Instagram, must.b.a.gemini.tarot. So yeah, basically it must be a Gemini tarot, but with full stops in between each word. So yeah, if you can drop me a message there or email me to book a private reading. And also I do some free Q&As on Instagram as well. So if you don't follow me there already, it's probably worth doing it. Okay, so let's have a look at how the other star signs are feeling towards you for the month of October. Okay, so if you're dealing with an Aries, you've got a 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Now that for me is a little bit of, I think your Aries is going to pull back in what they're telling you, and I don't mean that as in like they're going to start lying to you, start withholding the truth. I just think what they want to say, they don't have the words for yet, because this, you know, in the upright, this for me is, you know, it's busking. Being really honest, it's an exchange, it's an equality, it's an equilibrium, and that balance I think is not there for your Aries at the moment, and as a result I think they're pulling back. And like I say, it's not a problem that they're doing that, it's not a reflection on you, it's more a reflection on what's going on within them, is that they don't feel they've got, not necessarily the confidence, but they've not got the well, I suppose it is confidence, to come forward and tell you what they're going through. And if you're dealing with a Taurus, happy days, you've got a 4 of Wands. So your Taurus is cool right now. Your Taurus is enjoying the togetherness that you offer, what you have together. But they're also enjoying that with other people. You know, that sounds a bit like someone's cheating. It's not that, but it's just that, you know, they're feeling very balanced and very equal in what they're giving, what they're getting back. They're very confident, you know, particularly if, you know, if it is a friend situation, or, you know, even if it's a lover. The balance is there, and that for me I think is really good going into a new month. If you're dealing with a Gemini, sad times. You've got 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and that for me is very much that, you know, I think the Gemini was hoping for more out of a situation with you. Like I say, could be work, could be family, could be friends, could be lover. They were hoping really to get some kind of big payoff, and it hasn't happened. And I think they're feeling a little bit down about that. They're a little bit disappointed that something they've been working towards probably hasn't come off. But you know what? That's for them to deal with. And I say that as a Gemini. It's for them to deal with. If you're dealing with another Cancer, happy days, King of Cups. So they're also okay. They're also fine with where they're at. They're fine with what's going on. They're confident in themselves. They're confident in what they have. And where actually you had the King of Cups in reverse with your Justice card, maybe you need to seek out another Cancer who is confident and is happy in themselves, because that helps you get back to that. Now, if you're dealing with a Leo, this looks promising. You've got an Ace of Cups. So if you're single, keep your eye out for Leo, because there's a Leo coming into the mix somewhere that definitely sees something coming out of it. Definitely sees some kind of romantic inclinations. Keep me posted. What we're up to, Virgo. If you're dealing with a Virgo, you've got 10 of Wands in reverse. Now this Virgo is not done. They're still trying to build something, and again, you know, could be work, could be love, but I think they're still prepared to keep going on this, and whether that's good for you or whether it's good for them is up for debate. What isn't up for debate is the fact that they are not done. They're not finished with you, and I don't mean that as in like they're not done with you, threatening, Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction, but they're just not done. They're not ready to give up on this, on whatever it is, whether it's, like I say, whether it's work or whether it's love. They still feel they've got something to offer. So if you don't feel that, in my head I'm always like, be honest with people and say, listen, I know you feel you've got more in this, but I don't feel it, and you know, whatever. Or I think we've got as far as we can go, as far as I can go with this. It's probably a better way of phrasing it. Not that I want to put words in your mouth. Anyway, moving on. If you're dealing with a Libra, we've got a 9 of Wands. So for the Libras that you're dealing with, I think they've still got their own issues they need to deal with. They've still got their own stuff to work through. Like, this is very much, you know, it's trying to find your way through the forest. The torch, you know, you've got the torch in your hand. It's not even a forest, it's a street with lights on it. But in my head, it's a forest. And I think for me, with this Libra, I think they've got to find their own way out of their deep, dark wood. They've got to get through that all by themselves. And maybe you'll be at the other end waiting for them. Maybe when they get to the other end, they'll realise they want something else. But either way, you've got to accept that that's part of their path. And again, it's not something that you can do for them. It's something they have to figure out themselves. Now, if you are dealing with a Scorpio, on the other hand, beware, because they've got the High Priestess. So they are getting very connected. Now listen, that could be that they are getting connected and it works out in your favour. It could also be that they are getting very, very connected and things are not going to work out in your favour, that they are going to be really aware and they're going to call you out. If you've been misbehaving. I don't feel like you have. Your cards have all been really, really positive, but I just think be careful around a Scorpio, because they're doing their research, is what I want to say. Now, Sagittarius, oh, poor old Saggies, man, they're having a terrible day. They've got a Chariot in reverse. So there's a Sagittarius, if you're in a relationship with Sagittarius, or you're dating, whatever you're doing with Sagittarius, or you're going into business with a Sagittarius, I think you've got to be prepared that you're going to have to do a lot more of the legwork than they're prepared to do, because they're not the vision's not clear on where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They're not making that progress, and it's a shame, because, you know, like, I love this card. He's got his little dogs with him. Happy days. But even with the dogs, even with the company there, the direction is still not clear for the Sagittarius. And if you're okay with that and you're okay with keeping the direction going, then brilliant. But if you feel that you want them to start taking the driving seat, then, you know, we need to be careful with that. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, we've got a 6 of Swords in reverse. Now that's a tough one, because the 6 of Swords, for me, especially in this deck, it's such an emotive card. of progress, of moving on. And, you know, there's two ways of looking at this. There's either that, you know, listen, your Capricorn isn't going anywhere. Your Capricorn has no intention of moving on. They will be here for you. But there's also a danger, like I say, with that Justice and that King of Cups in reverse, that unfortunately your Capricorn isn't moving on. And that's something I think you need to be aware of going forward if you're going to if you're trying to move on. I mean, it might be that you're moving back together, who knows? But be aware that they're not quite ready for that. Now, if we've got an Aquarius in the mix, we've got a 10 of Swords in reverse. Another 10 in reverse, okay. But I like this one. This one's a good 10 of Swords in reverse, because this in the upright is very sad. It's very much about bad self-talk. It's about buying into bad reviews. It's about listening to what other people think of you, doing all that crazy stuff. Listen, what you think of me is none of my business. What goes on in your head doesn't deserve to be in my head. It doesn't need to be there. If you've got an Aquarius in the mix, I feel like they're talking themselves up a bit more, which is great. They need to be doing that, because I feel like they've had a bit of a tough time probably recently where they've started to doubt themselves. And that 10 of Swords in reverse to me is a case that it's not that. They're moving through that, which is good. Lastly, Pisces. I've got an 8 of Wands in reverse. Now, again, Pisces have had a mixed bag today. But this, for me, is if you're waiting for a Pisces to come forward, I think you're going to be waiting a little bit longer. I don't see them coming forward this month. I feel this is resistance to progress. It's you know, in the upright, I adore this because it's like that. Literally, you couldn't get much faster pace than that roller coaster. This is like, you know, we've queued up, we've got on the roller coaster, we've done the climb, we've gone up real slow, like we do on a roller coaster, and then you get to that tipping point, and it's like, yeah, let's go. But for your Pisces, I feel like they're not there yet. They're not ready to move on. And listen, that's not a bad thing. You know, you're okay where you are. You've got all of this stuff going for you, which is really good. And maybe you just wait around for your Pisces a little bit longer if you want to wait for them. Anyway, listen, I hope that helps. I hope that's given you a bit of an insight. If you would like a private reading, as I say, drop me an email or message me on Instagram. Join me for some free Q&As. They'll be here, and they will also be on Instagram and also on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button, which is a little bell, I think it is. I need to check that really. And I will see you very, very soon. Take care.